Shelter in Your Fingertips, Kabanata 50. Hi, this is the last chapter of Shelter in Your Fingertips. Maraming salamat po sa pagbabasa sa bago kong series. First installment is a glimpse of what is to come for this series. I hope you enjoy the story of Sage and Pietro. The starting point of Rara Avis as of now. I have yet to consolidate the installment count of this series. I hope you join me in this journey of wildness and adventure. Kabanata 50 Rescue. I don't believe you, he said clearly. Napasinghap ako. Wala nang panahong magulat sa sinabi niya dahil napapikit na ako sa narinig na pagpapaulan ng bala sa labas. Ramdam ko ang pagkakayanig ng buong bathroom. The explosions outside were too loud and too much. I'm surprised I wasn't dead yet from all of it. Pinaghalong mga bomba at machine gun iyon. I bit my lip and looked at my guns and reached for my last ammos, just so I could go down with fight. I don't believe you, Sage. Sip, ulit ni Pietro sa kabilang linya. I gritted my teeth as I loaded my gun. Mamamatay na ako, nagagawa niya pa ring sabihin niyan. I don't know what else to think now. How can I convince him that it's true? Or should I even do that? Dapat sapat na nasabi ko sa kanya ang totoo kong nararamdaman. Sabihin mo sa akin yan, harap-harapan, saka ako maniniwala sa'yo, he challenged before I heard more assault rifles and machine guns outside. Lumabas ako para lumaban. Kahit pa nahihilo na ako at basang-basa na ang damit at katawang ko sa sariling dugo. I fired at them, and before I could even fire the last bullet, I felt my eyes roll back in my head as the impact from the explosions and bullets caught up with me. Then everything went black. It won the championship. Masayang masaya ako at excited na pauwi. Maraming party para sa akin. May sa school, may sa pamilya, at mga kaibigan. May sa Regional Taekwondo Association. I have claimed my prize and I went to so many interviews. They acknowledged me as one of the best of my division. Pakiramdam ko wala na akong isasaya pa. Tiningnan ko ang natanggap na medal habang nasa loob ako ng van. May pa-welcome ang school sa akin sa Katiklan kanina. Nasa tabi ko sina mama at papa. Hindi matapos-tapos sa pagsisisi nila kung bakit hindi sila dumalo sa game ko. Pero kahit ganun, tuwang-tuwa kami sa bahay. Kwento ni mama kay coach. I stared at my medal gently and smiled. May party sa school ngayon para sa akin. Nasisiguro kong nandun si Pietro. Alam kong galit siya sa akin o nagtatampo dahil hindi ko na siya kinausap. But then, like what I promised, I will not stop begging for forgiveness after my championship. He deserves it. He didn't deserve my hurtful words. In fact, he deserves my honesty. Ang sabi ko, magmamakaawa ko sa paghingi ng tawad sa kanya. Should I stop there though? Should I keep my feelings from him? Umiling ako at umiti ulit. No. I will tell him how I feel. Nothing can stop me now. I don't care what they say or think about me. I want to tell him how I feel. And I want everyone to know. Lumabas ako sa van. Sinalubong agad ako ng cheer. Sa gate pa lang, tanaw ko na ang napakaraming estudyante na nag-aabang. Sa stage na Sage, may handaan din doon. At assembly sa schoolmates mo, si coach. Tumango ako at ngumiti. Habang naglalakad ako papuntang stage, maraming bumati sa akin. I smiled at everyone, but my eyes were searching for him among the crowd. I searched in every corner because I know that he didn't like the spotlight and only liked to hang out on the corners. Nasa gym na ako nang natanaw ang assembly ng mga estudyante. Everyone then cheered. Dinumog ako para ma-congratulate. Pietro recovered. That's what I heard from my parents and coach habang abala kami sa promotions. Umabot ng ilang linggo ang promotions dahil marami ang dumagdag. Dumagsa yata to. Na-feature pa nga ako sa TV. Na-feature pa nga ako sa TV dahil sobrang galing daw ng pagkakapanalo ko. They also found the culprit. It turns out it was Luigi Saldivar. He wanted an easy way to make money and he fell into the hands of a syndicate connected to some terrorists. Gusto daw yatang kidnapin si Pietro at hinging ransom ang isang importanteng bagay galing sa pamilya niya. Although I'm happy that the case was solved, I'm pretty sure Pietro isn't happy with what happened. Para bang katanggap-tanggap pa kung bulis nga ang gumawa nun sa kanya kaysa sa kapatid niya. Hindi sila magkadugo, oo. But I do think that he treated his siblings like real family. For sure that includes Luigi Saldivar. I want to comfort him. I want to make sure that he's physically okay too. I want to see him for myself. I want to apologize to him. And after all of that, I want to confess. Tinawag ako sa stage para parangalan. Ilang beses din akong nag-greet ng faculty at students. Sa sobrang saya ng faculty, ang handaan ay para sa lahat. Malaking salo-salo iyon. Nakihalubilo ako sa lahat, but mostly because I wanted to cross the assembly to find Pietro. And true enough, when I reached their level and section, and I have found the nearest corner, I saw him standing there all alone. He looked at me grimly. Madalas naman siyang ganun tumitig, o di kaya'y nakasimangot, pero iba lang ngayon dahil alam kong may pagtatampo siya. Dagdagan pa ng nangyari sa kanya at sa pamilya niya. Marahan akong lumapit. May mga tumawag sa akin pero binaliwala ko sila dahil gusto ko munang makausap si Pietro. It would be nice if I talked to him privately, but I realized that it's better for everyone to see. They are celebrating me and yet I chose to stand and talk with the boy they always bully. A person everyone hates. Kamusta ka? Narinig kong lumabas ka na sa ospital. Pero nag-aalala pa rin ako sa'yo. He looked away and didn't say a word. I continued. I'm sorry about what happened. And about Kuya Luigi. I didn't expect it. And it must be hard for you and your family. He swallowed hard, then slowly brought his eyes back to me. You should be celebrating with your friends. Aniya na parang hindi ko na dapat siya nilapitan para maging concerned sa kanya. I chuckled when I was serious. I chuckled even when I was serious. I can't celebrate properly. I've been so worried about you this whole time. Hindi nagsalita si Pietro. I can't concentrate sa game. Sa lahat, hindi ako makatulog. Days before the match and after. It's a miracle that I won. And I went to the ring right after coach assured me that you were okay and stable. Doon lang ako nabuhayan. Doon ako lumakas. Napakurap-kurap si Pietro sa sinabi ko. I smiled a bit. And even now that I'm supposed to celebrate my win with all these people, hinanap kita. Ikaw ang una kong makita. I want you to know that I was so worried with you. I want you to know that I look forward to coming home, not because I'm proud of my win. Napasinghap ako. I look forward to coming home because I want to see you, to check on you if you're really alright, and to apologize. My voice broke. About all the things I said when I tried to push you away, hindi iyon totoo. Nagsinungaling ako. Oo, nagsinungaling ako. At alam ko na ayaw mo sa sinungaling, Pietro. Tears threatened to fall, so I continued immediately. Even so, I will gamble and still tell you how I truly feel, despite a possible rejection. His eyes widened. Medyo nanahimik ang malapit sa amin. Natanto kong nakikinig ang iba. Hindi ko iyon tinigilan. I'm in love with you. I have been for a while now. His lips parted. The shock was very evident. Marahan akong lumapit sa kanya. I closed our distance. His face flushed when he saw our distance. This is the price I want, I said, and it all turned black. It was just a dream, I guess. Naagad din tuluyang naglaho habang unti-unti kong narinig ang nasa paligid. She lost a lot of blood but she's doing fine now. Ilang araw din siyang critical. I heard a familiar voice. That's good to know. Si Chekhov na ang naririnig ko. I was worried she'd wake up first before we get out of trial. I heard Kirk. Why? Because you want to tell her that you fired even without the orders? Si Palmer's yun. I fired first, si Chekhov naman. How could you say that? I fired where I was. Hindi ko alam kung ganon din ang ginawa nyo, si McCoy naman. Well, we all fired because we are in that ship full of terrorists, sabi ni Hikaru. I know I fired not because of those fuckers. I fired because I wanted to save Sage, si Chekhov. That's enough, si Coach. Wala nang utos ang paramilitary but to regroup because we're under attack. You all got away, not because you defended her, but because there were no clear instructions from the higher-ups. Even so, I want her to know that I defended her, si Chekhov. We have been so hard at her. At alam kong naiintindihan niya dahil tinlikuran niya tayo. Pero alam ko sa sarili ko na may mali. At lalong mali kung nakita na natin siya na pinagtutulungan. At tuloy-tuloy lang tayo sa panonood. I was too weak to open my eyes. My strength was not full. I feel paralyzed that even moving at all was so difficult. I guess she'll know. Trelane said, we have orders to regroup when the HQ was under attack. Pero pinuntahan pa rin natin ang barko at sumakay pa tayo kahit alam natin na suicide mission iyon. I don't think she'll think we were there to assassinate her. Those terrorists will kill her enough. There is no need for an assassination from us. So why else did we try so hard to board the ship in the first place anyway? It's not for her assassination. Slowly, I successfully moved my fingers. She's awake, Coach said. Agad na nagkaroon ng komosyon. May nagtawag ng nurse at naramdaman ko na lalo silang lumapit sa akin. Slowly, my eyes opened and I saw all of them in front of me. Nakahiga ako sa hospital bed sa infirmary. The room is full of people, from teachers, senior specialists, and trainees. They look at me expectantly. Nahati sila nang dumating ang doktor at nurse at saglit akong chinek. Tahimik ang lahat habang tinitignan ako, pero ramdam ko na gusto agad nilang magsalita at magpaliwanag. I look around more and saw men from Rara Avis, Conquistador. Nang tumabi ang doktor para ipaliwanag ang kalagayan ko, saka ko na idiretso ang titig ko sa likod niya at natanaw si Pietro. He's standing calmly and grimly, watching me as he listened to the doctor's update. Nakahalukip-kip siya, nakaitim na fitted t-shirt, itim ding cargo pants. There were bruises on him and the shoulder holster told me that he's been through a rough path. I swallow hard. Tumabi ang doktor at agad na tabunan si Pietro ni na Coach, Chekhov at iba pang kasamahan ko. Hindi pa agad rumihistro sa akin ang nangyayari. Ayos ka lang? Tanong ni Trelane sa akin. Hindi ako sumagot. Bumaling uli ako sa paligid para kumpirmahin na infirmary nga iyon ng HQ. Why is Pietro here? But there were Rara Avis and Conquistador men, so... Of course she's not okay, Kirk said. Sage rest. Why are they all here? At si Pietro? Pietro almost blended on the agents. Parang specialist lang din ang tayo niya doon. My neck craned to look around more and I saw Gio near Pietro. She's still confused, Coach said. Sage, we fired at the terrorists. Walang order sa amin, but we wanted to defend you. I know you know that doubting you was our job. That punishing betrayal is SOPs. Chekhov, saway ni Coach. Chekhov swallow hard. Oo, galit ako sa'yo sa mga ginawa mo, pero alam ko sa sarili ko na trabaho lang ang lahat ng iyon. Na kung papipiliin, she'll understand. You'll do the same, even worse. Hikaru smirked at me. Napakurap-kurap ako at tatango na sana nang saglit kong natanaw ulit si Pietro. Nakahilig siya sa dingding, nakahalukip-kip at nanonood lang sa amin. She's still confused. Calm down everyone, si Coach. Nilingon ko si Coach dahil lumapit siya sa akin ngayon. I know you should dress but your comrades are too selfish to let you. They want you to know that they somehow helped with your rescue. Ngayon lang tuluyang bumuo sa akin ang nangyari. I passed out from the explosions, gunfires, and blood loss. At baka pa kaya hindi ako natamaan sa critical na bahagi bukod sa vest ay dahil hindi lang sa akin abala ang mga terorista. They were also firing at the doors. They have orders to regroup because the HQ is under attack by Rara Avis. Napakurap-kurap ako. Sinubukan kong hanapin si Pietro pero natubunan pa rin siya ng mga kasamahan ko. Kaya nandito sila ngayon. We've been conquered. Coach smirked awkwardly. But the paramilitary is okay and functioning. They don't have any plan to put us down. They just needed the communication connected to another communication device with the team rescuing you on the ship. Nasa barko na rin kami nun, singit ni Chekhov. Coach shrugged. Instead of regrouping, your comrades chose to find the ship and infiltrate it. Napatingin ako sa mga kasama ko. Hikaru smirked and tapped my hand. But the conquistador were also already on the ship, and Pietro has already successfully connected my device on his, so he could talk to you while he's rescuing you on in that ship. Namilog ang mga mata ko nang natantong kaya siya mukhang galing giyera ay dahil kasama siya sa nag-rescue sa akin. Kasama siya sa sumulong sa barko. Nababaliw na ba siya? May sugatan ba sa mga nag-rescue? Napapaos ko pang sinabi. Their eyes widened when they realized those were my first words. Agad nag-ilingan ang comrades ko habang ipinapakita ang minor wounds sila sa braso o kung saan man. We're fine. Sunod-sunod nilang kumpirma. Sa iba, I said slowly. Nilingon ni Coach si Pietro. Tumabi ang mga comrades ko at nagkatingin ng kami ni Pietro. Hindi natanggal ang seryosong titig niya sa akin. My heart hurt a little. Jumped a little. And I felt a bit feverish because of the way he stared at me. Agad na lang sumulpot si Gio para sumagot. There were wounded soldiers but none are critical, si Gio. The terrorists are either dead from the battle, drowned when they tried to escape, and arrested. Their leader drowned while he escaped. Most of them are dead. Luigi Saldivar is arrested. All of them charged and will be imprisoned. Napasulyap ulit ako kay Pietro. Iniisip ko ang nararamdaman niya ngayong napatunayan nga na ang kay Luigi. Ngayong napatunayan nga na ang Kuya Luigi niya ang nagtraidor. May recording ako, sabi ko. Yep. We've kept it and preserved as evidence. But then, him being there caught in the act is enough for that treachery charge and enough for an abrupt arrest and imprisonment. Tumango ako. That's when it hit me like an avalanche. I'm alive. Akala ko mamamatay ako. I had no hope. I am out of ammo and they fired at me non-stop. I'm alive. Pietro is alright. He's here. He's watching me. He's behind my comrades. Silence. He's inside our HQ. He was with the rescue. He rescued me. Bumilis ang paghinga ko at naguunahan na ang pintig ng puso. We had to recalibrate you on our radar to find your exact location. Pero matatagalan pa, kaya kinailangan ding i-connecta ang speaker ng device mo sa communication device ng mga rescuers bukod kay Pietro. Coach's voice shook a little. Ngumusi si Jacob at tinitigan ako. He then shook his head and smirked. Para mahanap ka kung sakaling sasabihin mo kung nasaan ka. So, all the rescuers, the Rara Aves, Conquistador, and the paramilitary will know your location. Matagal bago ko natanto kung bakit sobrang tahimik sila. Kinikilig ako. I realized what Coach meant by that. Everyone heard everything. Hindi lang si Pietro ang nakikinig sa buong usapan na iyon. What about the disc? Did you retrieve it? I asked. Naunahan ako ng pag-aalala ko. Malamang na ibalik sa kanila dahil nahuli nila ang mga terorista. Coach opened his mouth for a while but he closed it to look at Gio behind him. Nahati ulit ang comrades ko, revealing Pietro behind all of them. Teka lang, kinikilig ako. My eyes immediately held his gaze. Gio was supposed to say something but he looked at Pietro. Pietro's eyes drifted on Gio first before he looked at me again. Bumaba ang halukip-kip niya. The disc is safe. Ang vault lang ang binigay ko. The disc is safe. Ang vault lang ang binigay ko, ani Pietro. My lips parted. Hinabol ko ang mga terorista para sa disc at para na rin kay Luigi Saldivar. Then it turns out that this isn't there. I know I asked Pietro to move the disc some other time, but based on the terrorist radio, it felt like they really have it. Dagdagan pa na ang generational safe naroon din. We staged a move, like what you wanted, si Gio, to lure the terrorists. Alam din namin na lalabas ka kung mangyari iyon. The main mission was to rescue you. I swallow hard. Their men also already knew the location of our RS HQ. They just didn't attack because that will be their last resort. Nauutal ka, girl, dahil kinikilig ka. Bumaba ang tingin ko sa katawan ni Coach. May bandage ang braso niya. I look around and realize even the trainees had bandages in some parts of their body too. Nung tumakas ka, saka lang sila umatake. Mainly because they wanted to check for your radar or any communication, sabi ni Coach. We wanted to inform you that the disc isn't inside the safe. But I guess it was too late. It was hard to infiltrate here. With our troops divided and majority were after the ship. Napatingin ulit ako kay Pietro. Titig na titig pa rin siya sa akin, kasama siya sa pumunta nga sa barko. Pero, paano? Okay lang naiwan ang Hidalgo safe? The safe is just a safe. I'm sure the Hidalgos will understand if I choose your life over it. Putol ni Pietro sa akin. Natahimik ako saglit. Teka, kinikilig ako. At si Luigi Saldivar, hinayaan niyo lang na makaalis? He's already a fugitive. He will be arrested soon enough. The safe also had mechanisms only the Hidalgos and I know. Kaya alam ko na kung hindi naman siya mahuhuli, hindi siya magtatagumpay sa pagbubukas ng safe na iyon. I swallowed hard and shook my head. Pero kung hindi siya mahuhuli, kung hindi ako makahanap ng patunay na siya nga ang problema, I'll be assassinated anyway. Dahil yun naman ang totoo. What's the use of them saving me rescuing me on that battle if my comrades are just going to assassinate me anyway? I won't do it, si Chikob ang unang nagsalita. He could sigh and watched me intently before she shook her head, and almost all of my comrades did the same. You really think I won't put up a fight? Pietro asked in the middle of my comrades' reactions. Nilingon ko ulit siya. He watched me grimly. You won't get assassinated. May banta sa tono niyang iyon. Napatingin si Chikob, Palmer's, Kirk, at Relaine kay Petro. Siguro natunogan nila ang banta at kasiguraduhan sa boses ni Pietro. Well, I guess, Coach cleared his throat. We should let you rest, Sage. Hindi natanggal ang titig ni Pietro sa akin. Bumaling naman ako kay Coach dahil sa sinabi niya. You have wounds. May tama ka rin sa hip at sa braso. There were fatal shots but it's a good thing you have a vest. May kaunting sugat ka rin sa ulo but very minor. The rest were shrapnels and bruises. Napatingin ako sa katawan ko. Naramdaman ko lahat ng sinabi ni Coach pati ang masakit sa iba't ibang parte dulot na rin siguro ng labanan. Coach ordered the paramilitary to leave. I heard Gio ordering his men the same. Natanaw ko silang isa-isang lumabas. Mas lalo tuloy na dipina ang laki ng room na iyon. Nagpahuli si Gio, si Coach, at si Pietro. Nauna ring lumabas si Gio sa tatlo. Coach was still near my bed when he smiled at me. Behind him is Pietro, not moving. Rest and recover. I'll come back again after you're well rested. The higher-ups was sorted out their decision, but we'll have a series of meeting regarding your comrades, our international operations, and many more. Tumango ako. Napabaling si Coach sa natitirang si Pietro. His eyes then went back to me. He chuckled a little. Magpahinga ka, Sage. Tanging nasabi ni Coach bago niya ako tinalikuran. Tinapik niya ang balikat ni Pietro ng Teka, kinikilig na ako eh. Tinapik niya ang balikat ni Pietro nang nagkasalubong na sila at kalaunan lumakad na palabas. To escape the awkwardness, I watched Coach until he disappeared on the door. Hindi ko alam kung gugustuhin ko bang mapag-isa rito sa silid kasama si Pietro. He looked serious, almost angry or annoyed this whole time. Unti-unti siyang lumapit. I watched him intently, even though I want so bad to tear my eyes off him. Magpahinga ka. Anya sabay sulyap sa nakaswero kong kamay. Kinikilig ako. Hindi ko alam ang sasabihin pa sa kanya. I feel like I told him everything before I passed out. At naalala ko na sinabi niya sa akin hindi siya naniniwala sa sinasabi ko. That he wanted to hear it in person, but then I don't even know if I can say it to him right now. Now that we're seeing each other in person, I want to burst out crying. I suddenly had the urge to parang hindi pa sobrang nagsisink in sa akin na nasa mabuting kalagayan nga ako. I survived. I didn't have any grave wounds. I thought I was going to die and not see him again. Masayang masaya ako. I swore to myself then that if I see Pietro again, I would never miss a chance to tell him how I feel about him or to show him how much I love him. Pero ngayong ganun na nga, hindi ko magawa. My face heated. My neck and chest heated when I remember what I told him. Rest, Sage, ulit niya. Pumikit ako. Naguhurmentado ang puso ngayong naalala ang lahat ng mga pinagsasabi ko. Hindi pa kasali doon na narinig ng lahat ang tungkol doon. I don't think I have the face to face all of them again ngayong naalala ko na ng tuluyan ang lahat. I don't even have the face to face Pietro right now that I am choosing to close my eyes and try to sleep. Nakatulog ulit ako at pagkagising ulit may nurse at doktor na tumitingin sa akin at may pagkain ng nakahanda. Pietro kept his distance. Nakahalukip-kip at ganun pa rin ang ayos. Sumulyap ako sa bandages niya sa braso at iba pang sugat. "Mom, you should eat," sabi ng nurse. Tumango ako at ngumiti bago nagpatuloy sa pagkain. Most of the time, I am silent on my bed. Nandoon si Pietro, tahimik lang din. Kung hindi nakatitig ng husto sa akin, nakapikit naman at nagpapahinga. It was like that for 2 days, or at least those were the days that I'm awake. I don't know how many days I was asleep after the battle. Wala talaga akong masabi kay Pietro. Wala rin naman siyang sinasabi sa akin kundi na magpahinga ako. It was as if all he wanted for me to do is sleep, eat, and just stay still. Hindi siya umuwi. Tuwing nagigising ako, lagi siyang nandoon. Hindi kami nag-uusap dahil hindi ko talaga alam ano ang sasabihin pagkatapos ng mga sinabi ko. I woke up and saw an empty room. Napaahon agad ako. The door then opened and it revealed Coach. Coach looked around the room. His brow furrowed for a bit but when our eyes met, he smiled gently and proceeded inside. "Kamusta?" tanong niya. "Ayos na ako. Pwede na akong lumabas?" Sabi ko dahil iyon ang nararamdaman ko. I still have bandages and there were still bruises and violet marks. Hindi pa naghihilom ang sugat at marami pang masakit sa katawan ko pero para sa akin, kaya ko nang tumayo rito at mamuhay ng normal. The doctor will decide that. I snorted at Coach. Hindi ganyan dito sa paramilitary. We get up when we can. It doesn't matter if we're still bleeding. Nagkatinginan kami ni Coach. He looked around, then back at me again. Pietro finally decided to go home. He practically lived here the whole time, Anya. Magsasalita na sana ako nang bumukas ang pintuan ng bathroom. Pietro went out. In a gray t-shirt and black cargo pants. His hair wet as he tried to dry it with a towel. Napasinghap ako nang natantong nasa banyo pala siya kaya wala siya nang nagising ako. Coach then laughed and suspiciously looked at me before he shook his head with a small smile. "Right. You won't leave," Coach murmured. "Is there a problem? Is everything alright?" Si Pietro at lumapit sa amin. Umiling si Coach. "Akala ko lang umuwi ka. I was asking Sage where were you." Pietro's brow shut up on Coach before his eyes drifted on me. I swallowed hard. "I'm just here to let you know that our bosses are here. 3 of them finally landed here a while ago. They're going to talk to you later." Umahon ako. Natanaw ko si Pietro na mariin ang titig sa pagkakaahon ko pero inignora niya iyon at itinuon ang buong pansin kay Coach. "I won't leave her alone." Tumango si Coach. "Well, yeah. Nasabi ko na rin yan. They want to talk to Sage privately but yes, you can be here in this room." Ngumuso ako at iniisip ba ni Pietro na nasa panganib ako? He is not wrong though. I still don't know what's up with the paramilitary. Pero bago yun, gusto ko lang malaman mo na mag-o-offer sila sa'yo ng tactician spot. My lips parted and my eyes fluttered. I thought I'm going to be X. I stopped when I realized I should be dead by now if I was. "Well, you have proven that what you did was right. The mission was also successful." Kitang-kita ko ang kagustuhan ni Pietro na magsalita. Naputulin si Coach. Naunahan ko lang siya. "Because they rescued me. Because my comrades decided to fire at the terrorists instead of assassinate me or regroup. The mission was successful, pero hindi dahil sa akin, Coach. Sage, you believe in yourself, even when nobody did. You saved the paramilitary." Oo, ibang-iba sa alam mong doctrine bilang sundalo, pero alam mo, there will always be special cases. The rules are obsolete. But we are all flawed. If it weren't for your stubbornness and instincts, we would probably cut our Asia Pacific branch. We will lose our credibility internationally. Pietro's gaze at me was intense. Binalik ko ang tingin ko kay Coach. "I understand if you want to retire, This is just a heads up that they are very eager to put you as tactician. That means you can work wherever you want. You will never engage in fieldwork anymore. Your pay triples and you can have all the vacations you want. Pietro snorted and looked away. Umiling siya at halata ang disgusto sa sinabi ni Coach. Tumikhim ako. Hindi ko rin alam ang sasabihin ko. I want to say that I want to retire. After all of that's happened, it was my original plan. Nagtatampo ba ako sa paramilitary dahil sa pagtalikod nila? Hindi. If I were a boss, their technician, I would do the same thing. I would even doubt the soldier who betrayed. I would do worse. I go by the book, by the doctrine, which is ironic because in this mission, I didn't. I trusted my instincts and abandoned all the things I know as a soldier. I don't think I'm fit for that. Think about it, sabi ni Coach. Sabay ngiti. But I also know that you wanted to retire before you accepted this mission. Pietro glared at Coach. Ramdam siguro ni Coach yun kaya bumaling din siya kay Pietro. You are fit for the job. I chose you because I never thought it is this complicated. I regret it eventually. He regrets it. Pero sa mission na to, nagkita ulit kami ni Pietro. Pietro looked angry at Coach right now. Hindi niya tinantanan sa iritadong tingin. I still regret it now. I put you through so much in this mission, Sage. He paused. But I guess this mission changed you a lot as well. This mission is what you needed. So who am I to say that I regret everything? Ngumiti siya sa akin at inignora si Pietro. Natahimik kami saglit nang biglang may kumatok sa pintuan. Si Pietro ang lumapit doon para pagbuksan niyon. It revealed the higher-ups and our bosses, kasama nila ang doktor at mga nurses. Tuluyan na akong tumayo. Coach neared Pietro and they talked for a while. Hindi na sila lumapit sa akin at nanatili sila sa pintuan. Habang tinitignan ako ng doktor at nurses, the higher-ups greeted me. I nodded and greeted them back. Pakitanggal na po. I'm fine now. I'll just recover in my own condo. Sabi ko sa doktor. The doctor was hesitant but after their test, they slowly removed the IV. Nagsimula nang magsalita ang higher-ups. They thanked me for what I've done for the paramilitary and praised me a bit. But as usual, they were also by the book and no nonsense. They proceeded to giving me new opportunities and invited me to be their tactician. Nagtagal ang usapan. I asked about my comrades. Some of them will be dispatched now to new missions. At habang nakikinig ako sa kanila, hindi ko maiwasang mangulila kahit paano. My whole life I lived with them and gone through many things with them. Now that my thoughts of retirement are slowly coming through, it feels so real. It feels surreal. I am missing the work, even when I haven't even left yet. But on the other side of me, I am truly longing for another life. Oo, ito ang buhay na nakasanayan ko. Ito ang buhay na pinili at ginusto ko. Pero, ito lang ba talaga ang buhay na gusto kong piliin palagi? Alam kong hindi. I look at Pietro. His eyes never left me even when he's talking to Coach. Nakatayo na ako ngayon. Tanggal na ang swero at inaayos na ang bandages ko. I've also changed into the most basic clothing the paramilitary can give a patient. A white t-shirt and a jogger pants. I'm planning to go home. 1 linggo na pala ako rito at mahigpit ang seguridad ko. It's not even necessary anymore because the terrorists were already seized and Luigi Salibar didn't even need a trial to get his life sentence. Pati ang lahat ng mga terorista nahuli. Their group has finally given up the Pacific and is regrouping in Siberia. Now weak and being hunted by the Interpol and other organizations. Ilang oras ang lumipas, natapos din ang meeting. Coach talked to the higher-ups and they will be in a large meeting in a while. Kinausap ulit ako ni Coach bago ako tuluyang lumabas ng silid para maglakad-lakad habang nag-uusap kami. Pietro was behind us the whole time. Janice is promoted as a senior specialist. She will be Chekhov's buddy, replacing you. They will have their trainee soon on their next mission. Ngumiti ako at tumango. Sumunod lang si Coach sa paglalakad ko. When he noticed where I was heading, he looked at me. Uuwi ka na, sambit niya. I smiled a bit. Yes, Coach. He nodded. Rest. Take a vacation, Sage. Enjoy your life. Ngumiti ako at napatingin sa paligid. The men around were mechs. May paramilitary, may rara avis, at conquistador. I know they must be annoyed now I have to deal with other militias. They have no choice. While Pietro is here, those organizations will infiltrate the HQ. Till we meet again, Coach, sabi ko at unti-unting lumapit sa pintuan palabas. The men slowly walk behind me. Si Pietro ganun din. Mas marami ring tao sa basement at hindi ko pa man sinasabi may naghihintay ng SUV. Pinabuksan na ako ng pintuan. Nilingon ko si Pietro nang pumasok din siya sa loob at tumabi sa akin. Pupunta lang ako sa kondo ko, sambit ko. Pietro looked at the driver. Wala man lang siyang sinabi at natanong ko na agad sa GPS na ang kondo ko nga ang pupuntahan. Ngumuso ako at sumalyap ng kaunti kay Pietro. He's silent, still stiff as fuck. Wala pa ring sinasabi at hindi ko alam kung kailan din ako magkakaroon ng lakas na kausapin siya pagkatapos ng lahat. Honestly, I anxiously expected an encounter on our 30-minute travel dahil siguro sa katatapos lang na nangyari at sa dami ng convoy namin. Alam ko rin kasi na maraming nakabantay sa amin. Then I realized that every one of the terrorists were imprisoned or dead. They were planning on leaving the country with a safe. So all of them were inside that ship. Nobody got away. Kami na lang ni Pietro ang pumasok sa elevator ko, pero hindi ako. Magtataka kung may mga bodyguards pa rin sa paligid. O kung napapalibutan nga rin ang condo tower ko. Nakahalukip-kip ako at nakahilig sa malamig na dingding ng elevator. He's standing beside me like a soldier now. Naka-gray t-shirt, cargo pants at combat boots. My eyes drifted on his eyes in our reflection. He's watching me stiffly. Bumukas ang elevator door at lumabas agad ako. I look for my keys. One of the things the paramilitary has prepared for me today. Marahan kong pinihit ang pintuan. Mas lalong nadipin na ngayon na magkasama kami rito sa kondo ko. Hindi nag-uusap, tahimik, hindi ko alam kailan kami mag-uusap. Hindi ako nagsalita nang pumasok ako. I didn't even need to invite him in for him to walk inside. He has invited himself inside. Sumulyap lang ako sa kanya bago ako tumuloy sa kwarto ko. And like what happened a while ago, he also walked inside my room without any invitation anymore. Sumulyap ako sa kanya habang nagbababa ng maleta. Hindi ka ba magpapahinga muna? Papahinga naman, sambit ko at binuksan ang closet ko. Bakit? Mag-iimpake ka na? Kinagat ko ang labi ko at hindi rin siya nasagot. I just wanted to put some things inside my luggage. But I guess he's right. Hindi pa naghihilom ang mga sugat ko. Hindi ko pa siya nakakausap o tuluyang nakikita ang balita man lang tungkol sa nangyari sa mga terorista o kahit makausap o makita man lang ang generals at iba pang tungkol sa mission. What's your plan? Are you going to take the paramilitary's offer or Nilingon ko si Pietro pagkatapos kong ilapag ang kaunting gamit ko sa luggage. Nagkatinginan kaming dalawa. Uuwi ako sa pamilya ko. He licked his lips and nodded. Kailan? He asked breathily. Kinikilig na ako. Teka. Ngumuso ako. As soon as possible, nagkatinginan kami. You can wait here if you want, marahan kong sinabi. Kumunot ang noo niya. Why? Nagtaas ako ng kilay. You want... wait? I can be with you, so why should I wait here? My heart... Nagkakautal ka na, girl? My heart pounded so hard. Kung noon, ramdam ko na to, lalo pa ngayon, hindi ko alam ano ang nagbago pero parang mas tumindi ang nararamdaman ko sa kanya ngayon. Paano ang trabaho mo? I can work anywhere I want. Standards. Napakurap-kurap ako nang naalala ang trabaho niya. You want me to come with you, right? And meet your family? Hindi ko natagalan ang titig niya. I look away. I feel like I melt from his stare and his words. Hindi ko kayang marinig mula sa kanya ang narinig galing sa akin. Akala ko ba hindi ka naniniwala? He slowly closed the distance between us. I saw his combat boots nearing my sneakers. Then he stopped right in front of me. Teka. Hindi nga. Kaya ulitin mo ang sinabi mo sa akin noon ngayon. And I died there. Napapikit ako. Hindi ko alam kung kaya ko bang sabihin iyon sa kanya ng harap-harapan. There was silence. He waited, but I didn't say anything. He continued. I don't know what to do when you cut our connections. I felt so helpless, powerless. Ang sabi mo, ang daming nagbago sa akin. Ibang-iba na ako. Kaya ko nang lumaban ngayon. Pero nung umalis ka, at nang tuluyan mong pinutol ang device, pakiramdam ko binalik mo ako sa dati. Yumuko ako. My heart shook a little and my eyes felt hot. I talked to the Rara Avis even when they were ready to attack. I desperately wanted to come home and track you down. They engaged. Namilog ang mga mata ko at napatingin sa kanya. But eventually, Kuya Rowan listened. I went home too late. I tracked you down eventually. When you were in your HQ in the infirmary. Nalaglag ang pangako nang naalala iyon. I thought everything is going according to plan until you escaped and boarded that ship, Sage. Yumuko si Pietro. His voice shook a little. I was so close and yet you still slept, he said. I swallowed hard and closed my eyes. Para akong mababaliw na maisip na mag-isa ka sa barkong iyon. I didn't know how I managed to give orders and still think straight despite my worry and desperation for you. Suminghap siya at hinagilap ang kamay ko. And when I saw you on that bathroom, covered in blood and unconscious, hindi siya nakapagpatuloy sa sinabi. Dumilat ako. His eyes were closed as he puts my hand on his lips. As if uttering and offering a prayer. I feel like I died so many deaths each time we're apart. His eyes opened. Namumungay na iyon habang nakatitig sa akin. So if you want so bad to protect me, to save me, then never leave me again. Kinagat ko ang labi ko. Marry me and build a family with me. Be with me until the end. Nagkatinginan kaming dalawa. I don't know what's holding me back from telling him my feelings. Ngayong nandito na siya sa harap ko at magkasama kaming dalawa, bakit ang hirap sa aking sabihin yung nasabi ko sa kanya nang nasa bingit na ako ng kamatayan? Kinagat ko ang labi ko. Pumikit ako saglit bago ako tumingin sa kanya. I feel weak in the knees. My eyes were sleepy as I look at him. I realized I was holding back because all this time I made him believe that I didn't really like him, that he never affected me, even if it was the opposite. My sudden confession in a battle was probably a shock to him. Hindi ko tuloy alam paano siya tatratuhin ngayon. Tatratuhin ngayon. But I'm done with that. The regrets and the waiting. I have lived my life like there is no tomorrow because of my job. Right now, I will live it all the same, like there is no tomorrow, with Pietro. I will love him like it will end when the sun sets. I have always been in love with you. I turned my back on the paramilitary, not just because I think it doesn't make sense, but also because I'm in love with you. Kinagat niya ang labi niya at mas lalong namungay ang mga mata. All those practices, you only made me fall harder. I never thought I'd fall for you now that you've changed, but I did. And, of course, I wanted you out of both lust and love. He licked his lips and his eyes remained on me. And I wanted the evidence to Luigi so bad because I wanted to live. I don't want to get assassinated. I want to live, be your girlfriend, move in with you, and nanuyo ang lalamunan ko. If you want, be your wife. I want it, he whispered. Nanghina pa ako lalo. I want to live. I want to live with you, he whispered briefly. Suminghap ako at hinawakan na rin ang kamay niya kahit nakahawak siya sa akin mula pa lang kanina. His fingers play with mine. I brought his hand on my lips and kissed it. Sayong-sayo ako, Pietro. Sayong-sayo rin ako, Anya. Bumuntong hininga ako. He then slowly pushed my chin to him for a kiss. At aking kasage. He said shakily before he pulled me closer for a deeper kiss. Grabe ka talaga, Pietro. The standards. So that ends Shelter in Your Fingertips, Kabanata 50.